Today we will talk about something that happened on Weverse that has deeply touched those of us who love Taehyung. There is a side to Taehyung that is rarely discussed, a quiet side hidden behind that smile that lights up millions of people around the world. Amidst the applause, lights, and love of his fans, there is also another side: hatred, rumors, cruel words written about him. Yet, he remains silent. He does not respond. He does not defend himself with anger. He does not point fingers. His response is always silence. A silence that hides pain, but also maintains strength. This video is a glimpse into that silence, into what Jungkook endures, into what he keeps silent. And also into what inspires him, because despite everything, his light never dims. BTS has one of the largest and strongest fan bases on the planet. Millions of people united by music, by love for 7 young men who changed the history of K-pop. Yet amidst that greatness lies a bitter reality: internal division. That division hit Jungkook particularly hard. For years, part of the fandom has used shipping as a weapon. What should be healthy in theory, where only moments and beautiful interactions are enjoyed, has instead become a source of uncontrollable confrontation and hatred. The most obvious case is the Taekook ship. Many fans enjoy it in a healthy way, without hurting anyone. However, there is a group that takes this ship to extremes, to the point of using it as a reason to attack Taehyung directly. For them, Taehyung's existence, his closeness to Jungkook, and his role in the group are seen as obstacles that must be removed. Thus, rumors began to spread. Old stories from the past, misinterpretations, fabricated theories, all with the same goal: to make Jimin look annoying, someone who should not stand in their way. The most painful part is that they didn't stop there. On Weverse, the official platform where artists read their fans' messages directly, cruel messages were left behind. Not constructive criticism, but hopes for the worst. Words so hurtful that it's hard to believe someone could write them about a person who never hurt them. All for a ship. All to defend a narrative created by shippers, taken to an extreme. Here is the script for a long article based on your title, written in the emotional narrative style typical of YouTube content, full of emotion, reflection, and analysis to grab the audience's attention. In recent weeks, the atmosphere in the BTS fandom has felt different. There's a heaviness in the air, as if a silence hangs between the usually loud voices praising, celebrating, and supporting the members. And in the midst of it all, there's one name that keeps being mentioned with a tone full of questions: Kim Taehyung. Why is he silent? Does he know what's going on? Is he deliberately not talking? These questions kept swirling in the minds of many armies, especially those who had been following Taekook's journey for a long time. A relationship that was often in the spotlight, both because of their extraordinary chemistry and because of the never-ending speculation. But this time, the atmosphere was different. It's not just Taehyung who is the subject of discussion, but also the fans who love the genuine interaction between Taehyung and Jungkook. They, the supporters of Taekook, are now the target. Attacked, belittled, and accused of all sorts of things that often don't make sense. Taehyung, who is usually known for his warm smile, distinctive laugh, and infectious spontaneity, now appears calmer. Some fans even call him too calm. It's not without reason. Every move he makes is now scrutinized, linked, and misinterpreted. One glance, one smile, one word can become headlines across all social media platforms. Perhaps that is why he chooses to remain silent. Not because he doesn't care, but because he knows too well the impact of every word that comes out of his mouth. Taehyung is no longer a teenager who can speak freely without consequences. He is a global public figure, someone whose every move can spark a storm of opinion. So, his silence isn't a form of indifference, but perhaps a form of self-protection and protection for those he loves. The big question now echoing among ARMY is, why are they attacking Taekook and his fans? Simple. Because love that's too real often makes others uncomfortable. The relationship between Taehyung and Jungkook, whatever you call it, isn't just fan service. It is a connection that is visible even without words. their gazes, their body language, the way they understand each other without speaking. All of that is real to anyone who is willing to see without prejudice. However, the world is not always ready to accept something that does not match their expectations. Those who attack often feel disturbed by the fact that there is a form of love that they cannot control, a love that transcends labels and boundaries. And unfortunately, fans who believed in and supported the relationship were dragged into it too, accused of being delusional, insulted, even bullied just because they saw and loved the genuine connection between two people who once, and perhaps still, shared such deep moments. The BTS fandom now seems divided into two worlds. One believes that Taekook is a beautiful part of their journey, and the other outright rejects it, as if it were something shameful to acknowledge. But hasn't BTS always taught about love and freedom? Love yourself. Speak yourself. Ironically, when some fans try to love things as they are attacked. When they speak from the heart, they are silenced. So, where is the spirit that once made BTS a beacon for millions of hearts around the world? Has the fandom forgotten that they were taught to love unconditionally, not to attack because of differing views? Anyone who has followed Taehyung's journey knows one thing. He is not the type of person to easily retaliate. He holds back. Even when the world tries to bring him down. Perhaps because he knows that revenge is not the way to heal. Perhaps because he chooses to forgive, or at least to calm himself before reacting. However, his silence also has consequences. In a world thirsty for clarification, silence can be misinterpreted. For some, silence means indifference. But for those who truly understand, silence means, I choose peace over a futile battle. Those who continue to support Taekook today are not blind. They realize that not everything has to be confirmed to be real. They know that love is not always expressed through words. Sometimes it is expressed through meaningful glances on stage, through smiles that appear in the quietest moments, or through song lyrics that feel too honest to be considered a coincidence. And even though they are attacked, they remain steadfast. Because what they hold on to is not delusion, but belief in something beautiful, that true love does not need validation from the world. We all know that Taehyung always has his own way of expressing himself, whether through art, music, or simply silence. And maybe this time, his silence is not a sign of surrender, but a process. He is recovering. He is reflecting. He is preparing something. Because if there is one thing that is certain about Taehyung, it is this. He will never let hatred win over love. No one knows for sure. But maybe, until the world calms down again. Until love is no longer mocked. Until fans can love again without fear of attack. And until that time comes, let him be in his peace. Because sometimes, silence is the most elegant way to fight the noise.